Welcome back to Jump Scare. I'm Betty.
And I'm Chad.
This week we cover 1978's The Evil.
Nobody ever suspected what ancient terror slept beneath the Vargas house.
Story gets started about any old house that's been vacant for a while.
What kind of stories?
Oh, just stories. Just old wives' tales.
Look out!
Terror that turns laughter into screams. And loving pets into killers. For the house belongs to the evil.
Disturb not he who is here held in chains. This house. This house.
By the time you run, there is no escape. When you think you're free, you might be dead. By the time you learn the truth,
You can't do this!
it may be too late. Richard Crenna, Joanna Pettit, Victor Blomberg. The Evil. A New World picture.
The Evil. The house was very evil.
It's the evil, not just evil. It's like when they did make the distinction of the Batman, because there are so many other Batman characters, apparently. I don't understand. Anyhow.
The Evil. Which would make it... If someone told me The Evil, I would think the ultimate evil. The main evil,
the house
which...
this was evil, but I wouldn't say it was the ultimate evil. It was more just kind of pissy and hateful.
Incorrect, sir. Did you even see the movie? Spoiler
I
alert.
did.
We're gonna, because it's not a spoiler. The movie was 1978, so if you haven't seen it, watch it. If you did watch it, then you know what we're talking about. The person, well, not gonna say person. The devil is fucking underground in the house. He's the ultimate evil. So what are you talking about? It's the devil.
Did you see this devil, though? He really wasn't all that intimidating.
He was wearing a solid white suit. That suit cost $1,000 in reality. For him to have that suit, it was $1,000 white suit. It was the whitest of suits. That's why it cost so much money.
First of all, I feel like the devil would be a much more, I don't know, intimidating looking guy. This looked like the guy that runs the key department at Ace Hardware. Just came down and wore the suit.
He's the devil that is living, quote unquote, in this castle that's being haunted by a Civil War ghost. If he's not wearing a white suit in the fucking South, what is he doing? He's trying to be fucking the Colonel, like, right now.
I don't say so. He's the Colonel Sanders devil.
Yes, he's the devil in the South. Wait, isn't that a book?
It might be. Jesus.
The biggest star of the film is the Montezuma Castle, the actual castle where they filmed this film. Very low budget film. They probably were able to rent this for like chump change because the castle had been like abandoned and totally jacked up by assholes for like so long, like years and years and years. So,
which they even mentioned in the movie. So I feel like they were kind of just lazy and were like, let's just write the history of this mansion as the fucking history that we actually filmed the place at. Let's just do it that way. It'll be easier.
Like that other movie that we saw with the guy that was going around killing all the women. The guy that got his hair caught on fire in the dance floor.
Yes. Don't go in the house.
Don't go in the house. Yes, that whole house was like an
Just
actual
abandoned.
historical house.
Yeah, it was abandoned. It's like a historical society place now, but they, at the time it was just abandoned.
So the Montezuma Castle is 90,000 square feet. It has 400 rooms.
Wow.
And ironically, it's located in Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a Las Vegas, New Mexico. I thought there was only one Las Vegas.
In a Queen Anne style, this Montezuma Castle could be yours, rented for $500 a week.
Wow.
That's probably how much it cost in 1978. In 1978, it probably cost like $100.
Yeah, $100 a week easily.
Which at the time was like you were mad rich if you were earning $100 a week.
Because that place looks so dilapidated and like it's falling down. Like there's one scene where part of the ceiling falls on Richard Crenna's head. And I really questioned whether or not that was actually in the script or if it just happened, because this place looked like it was falling down.
There was no fucking CGI, okay? Everything was shot in camera, all the crazy shit they did. Even like to the point where one girl's getting thrown around in the room and you can see like the string like holding her, like pulling her. So that shit was real. He really got all that shit on his head, because like you said, there's no way you can fake that. I mean, I guess they just do like foam bricks.
They just dropped. It was just wood plank. It was just like wood paneling and stuff that just dropped on his head. So they really dropped it on his head. But I'm just saying, was it supposed to happen, or did the fucking house just fall in around him? Because it looked pretty suspicious.
Did I tell you there's a Civil War ghost whose name is Emilio in this fucking movie, and he looks like a walking marshmallow? Because there's a fucking Civil War ghost. Okay,
we should probably explain what this movie's about, loosely what it's about, because I'm not sure it knew what it was about.
It knew what it was about. It was about a big ass fucked up house in the South with the devil living downstairs in the basement.
But was it in the South?
We're gonna say it's in the South because how the Civil War ghost, he was like, I died in the Civil War, but then I'm just gonna float away to another country. I'm in like fucking
another state, you mean?
Well, no, but when you said, are you sure that he's in the Civil he's in the South, I automatically thought he was like in Honduras, like he was in another country.
No, I'm talking about
he could have been in Virginia, I guess. Yeah. Fine, but it's the Colonel Sanders like white suit that throws me off, that makes me think that he's in the South.
No, I'm just saying I didn't realize that the house of this was supposed to be in the South, because I don't really remember him saying, but they might have. I just didn't remember.
No, I don't think they say either. They just mention that it's a Civil War ghost. They make a mention of it several times throughout the film. It's very important for you to know it's a Civil War ghost. And the house was the Valley of the Devils, built over a funeral, like a cemetery, and some hot springs.
No.
Right?
No. It wasn't over a cemetery. It was over an Indian burial ground.
Oh, no, wait. Are you sure about that? Okay,
yes.
So we have some poltergeist shit going on. Pre-poltergeist.
No. Poltergeist wasn't over an Indian burial ground.
It was over a cemetery.
Yes, it wasn't an Indian burial ground. Everyone just assumes that because of the Indian guy who's in part 2. No. But anyhow.
In the film, they mentioned that the house that they're buying, so this couple they're trying to find a big house because they're psychiatrists and they are running.
Well, he's a psychiatrist. She's a regular medical doctor.
Oh, that's right. Which, let me just tell you, if you are a modern woman and you're watching this film, you're going to be mad. If you feel triggered about certain things, all the women in this movie are undercredited. None of the men believe anything they're saying, and they're like always like, ugh, like, what are you talking about?
They practically, you can see it in their eyes that they're just like, ugh, these bitches. Throughout the whole movie, they're just exasperated with the women the whole time.
They're doing like a rehab center. They want to make a rehab center. And they buy the house for like dirt cheap, and like you do because the fucking thing is haunted. And they have like a whole tour of the house.
Yeah, and I love how the guy tells them, oh yeah, there's supposed to be a caretaker out here taking care of it, but he's drunk. He doesn't show up a lot, and he's terribly unreliable. You might want to fire him, or you might want to keep him on. It's up to you, really.
Yeah, they're like, I don't think you're going to keep him. That's what he says. I don't think you're going to keep him on. His name is Sam. Okay, let's put a name to his. And he's a drunk. And he's like the guy in the film. I thought he was going to be the one that was going to be running around being like, this house is haunted.
This
It's
place
evil.
is cursed.
He dies right off the bat.
Immediately.
Yeah, he dies. But what use did he have beside dying? What's crazy is he's been taking care of this property for what was it? How long had it been?
I think they said 10 or 15 years.
A fuck long time. And no point did anyone try to kill him until, well, some shit happens, and then I guess that was resurrects the evil. And
Well,
then,
no, he died before all that. He died at the very beginning before the people even moved in and did anything. So that was my question too: is why did it not bother him for all these years? Then all of a sudden, I guess it knew people were moving in, and it was like, oh shit, I gotta hurry up and kill this guy.
that's true. You just fucking pulled the plot point right there, because the devil makes it a point to tell the psychiatrist guy that it was his fault. He's the one that triggered the whole fucking thing to start the evil to get released, and it's all his fault. But he hadn't even done anything. He wasn't even in the house
wasn't even there
yet
yet.
when the freaking guy gets. So who killed the guy? That's what I need to know. Maybe it was the real estate agent.
Well, no, you saw we've already said spoilers, but once again, spoilers. Yeah, you saw the caretaker go downstairs. He hears a noise. He goes down there. He opens the furnace. The furnace just burns him alive. And then somehow later, he ends up in a box upstairs in the kitchen. They
That's
didn't
true.
really explain how any of that happened. So
Who put him in the box? He
put
just
him in
crawled
the
to the box?
did he crawl to the box, die, close it in behind him real quick? I mean, it was really...
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work for a guy dying that's on fire.
Also, if you are a fan of horror films, you may think, hey, this is kind of familiar. And The Beyond, which didn't come out until 1981. So, and this movie's from 78. So, he must have really liked this movie, because literally the same fucking thing happens in the beginning of that movie. The person goes down to like the cellar or whatever, the basement. Some shit happens. They catch fire, they die. The person dies down there. And then their body's later revealed.
Yeah. But, so they all, they're going to make this place into the rehab center. And they get all their friends and former patients to come out and help them. And it's a motley crew of people. My favorite guy is Sailor Pants.
He has the craziest sailor pants. He's freaking magical.
Yeah, and these pants, let me tell you, they leave nothing to the imagination. This guy, first of all, does not wear underwear. Secondly, I might be able to draw his dick from memory. These pants were so tight. And then you've got there's the one woman that she's dressed like freaking Pam Grier in, I can't think of that coffee, one of those like that. She's got like the trench coat and everything. She looks like she's about ready to bust out, whip a machine gun out from under the coat and do, start some shit. But my favorite is the guy that shows up that's the carpenter, that he looks like a cross between MacReady from The Thing and Bandit from Smokey and the Bandit. I don't know where they found him, but he came walking out and I'm like, oh my God, he looks like Bandit wearing the MacReady hat.
It's a low budget film, so everyone came dressed in their own clothes.
I'm sure they probably did.
So now let's just take one little step back into the tour that we were discussing. I feel like when the real estate agent tells you that there's a Civil War ghost, or someone died in the house, and it was a Civil War, because the whole house has a history. He gives a history of the house when he's going and touring them. And then there's a scene a little while after where you hear a noise and you see the fucking ghost, or you see something askew. This is the time that you are like, yeah, we are not getting this house. But like in all things, people love bargains, and they're just like, that's fine. I'm getting this house for dirt cheap, so I'll just deal with this fucking ghost thing later.
Yeah, she didn't seem all that concerned with it. She was like, I'm pretty sure I saw a glowing ghost walking around, but nah, it couldn't have been. And then when they go outside, and then there's the statue, like a gravestone looking like monument, maybe with a creepy devil on top of it. Like he's got his hands kind of like a jester under his chin, like, yeah, I'm the devil. It's this weird demon, and it's like, he who lives here is shackled forever, and all this weird inscription. I'd be like, Yeah, I don't think we should take this place. It doesn't seem like a good idea.
Especially because we're going to have people rehabilitating.
Yeah.
That's not, someone's going to come in with some fucking shrooms. They're going to trip out. Like, there's always going to be a person that's going to slip up. They're going to trip out. We got crazy looking devilish gargoyles and like all kinds of other statues and shit around the house. No. And they fucking move. Just like Haunting style. They freaking move.
Yeah, and of course she sees the wife sees the statue move. She's like, holy shit, did you see that? The statue just moved. And like in all horror movies, when they look back, it's back in its normal place. Just like, oh yeah, I didn't do anything.
And the psychiatrist, looks over to his doctor girlfriend, is like, sure it did, honey. Sure it did. Here's some Valium.
Yeah, also at this point, we might want to mention that if you're triggered by pet deaths in this movie, yeah, the dog doesn't make it through this movie. You don't really see it die, but you know that it's dead.
I totally forgot there was a dog in the film until you brought it up again.
Yeah, they're in the house for all of 5 minutes before the dog is like, oh, I sense Satan in the basement. Runs downstairs and immediately starts digging into the dirt floor. And after he digs for a little while, he, of course, gets immediately possessed, becomes, Bitey McBiterson to everyone. And that's when Richard Crenna, as he's looking down there, is like, oh, look, the dog started digging something up. What did he dig up? Oh, it's this weirdly ornate crucifix that's holding 2 doors shut. I'll just take that out. So he pulls that out, brings it upstairs, and then like 2 seconds later, the freaking gate to hell opens up because, of course, why wouldn't you take that? I would see that shit and immediately be like, oh no. First of all, if we weren't put off from before, we definitely need to leave that shit in place and let's pour some concrete over it so nobody fucks with it. But yeah, that's how the whole thing starts because this asshole pulls away the obvious, barrier to Satan.
Leave a note, maybe? Maybe some hieroglyphics on the fucking wall? Something to indicate do not, but you can't just put like do not open because people are just going to open it. You got to do like the whole full fucking explanation of what the fuck is going down there. And there was so much going down there. It does have, I don't know if it's because the house had so many rooms and that's what made it evil. Like, why did the devil decide this is going to be the way to get into hell, or this is going to be one of the like ways to get in? I don't know why he chose that house. I guess maybe there's just a lot of souls that could, like, if you have 200 rooms, that's 200 souls that you can have people come in and stay in.
You'd think he would have waited then until the rehab center was full.
Yeah, I guess. He was bored. Like they do. Yeah, that part of the film doesn't make any sense, but it does. It's one of those things where it's just like someone fucks something up and unleashes something, and now here we are, low budget film. Everyone's stuck in this house now, and now we have to deal with what's going on. And
they did come up with at least a different reason, like, because the thing in all the haunted house movies is why don't they just fucking leave? This one, once the evil is unleashed, there's a huge fucking earthquake. And then every door and window in the place slams shut and locks. And they can't open them. They try like smashing them with chairs. They try prying them open. The one guy eventually tries to get a saw and cut the door open with it. That doesn't work out well for anyone. Yeah, at least they show us a reason on this one that like, so I just didn't get out and get in the car and get the fuck out of there.
Now, what's interesting to me about that part of the movie that you just said, where the guy's trying to saw the door open and then he's trying to saw the door. The psychiatrist is like watching him do it, and it's like, oh, okay, keep trying, to like get it open. And then you pan over again, and you watching him, and he's sawing his hand. That part, I thought, is the house alive? Because like, is the devil or the evil within the walls like? Not obviously a living person, but is it living to some extent where it feels pain because it did not appreciate you trying to fucking saw its way through its doors, and now it's making you do that on your hand? So that kind of like the house was alive and did have its own thing because it did protect itself. Now, whether it was because it didn't want anyone to leave for whatever reason that was about, or it just was like, no, you're in here, you're gonna deal with it, but don't fucking touch me. Don't like piss on my wall because I'm gonna cut your dick off or some shit.
Yeah.
Because it is very defensive. The house is very defensive.
Yeah, at one point they try to they go up top where there's like a door flapping open that didn't slam. They get up onto a roof area where there's an open area that you could climb down. They try to climb down using some cables, and that's when the guy gets struck by lightning and set on fire and falls to his death. Then that's apparently when the stuntman actually got burned, which it's a pretty intense burn effect. So you can see where he probably got his face burned on that wire because the whole wire lights up and just burst into flame.
Yeah, it is a pretty intense scene. Everyone that dies in the house dies a terrible death. Like they're electrocuted, they're hung. There's just there's a dog attack. Like,
yeah, that's how we gotta talk about the dog attack. The first time that the dog attacks someone and it comes running down the hall and attacks them, they thought, you know what would make a great sound effect for that? The TIE Fighter noise from Star Wars. So you hear the TIE Fighter sound from Star Wars of them like flying by. You hear that when the dog jumps on the woman. I had walked to the kitchen to grab something, and as I had my back turned, I'm like, wait, did you just fucking put on Star Wars? Because I just heard a fucking TIE Fighter go by.
It's clear as fucking day. We will definitely be putting that up on the Instagram, on our Instagram page, so you can hear that clip, because it is wild. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
This was in 78, so I wonder if there was like a library that they had of sounds that they stole from, or if they just said, oh fuck it, let's just take the sound from Star Wars, see if anybody notices. But it gets mentioned online a lot. I looked, and I don't know why you would do that. Like, the dog is not running that fast. The dog is not like super speed or anything, so you're not like trying to like show speed, or I don't know. It was very strange.
It is very strange, and it's just totally out of context. And it's not one of those where like you have to play it like over and over again to try to hear it. It's like I said, it is very, very clear. I do love all the in-camera effects in the film. The slamming doors, the windows, all of that. That was pretty neat. I mean, there's that one scene. I mean, if you're gonna be like really analyzing every single scene, but that one scene where you can see like the woman being, what I mentioned earlier, her being pulled around. But everything looks pretty good, and it's very believable.
Yeah, there's a great scene where one of the women is in the room alone, and like the ghost just, it's one of those crazy, I was like, oh god, is this going to be like The Entity? Like the ghost just starts ripping, or whatever it is, starts ripping her clothes off, and you just see the clothes get ripped off on camera. It's not like they cut away or anything. They did a good job of like just, I'm sure the clothes were just tear away, but they just whip the clothes off of her and then throw her onto the bed, and she's being slammed up and down onto the bed by this ghost, and it looks very convincing and very disturbing.
Yeah, it is very disturbing. I was thinking, oh shit, we're going to have an entity scene here, because that was pretty wild, but we thankfully, it got me very anxious because I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah,
and I was like, what kind of ghost is this ghost? Like, what is this ghost up to?
The only thing worse than a regular rape scene in the movie is a ghost rape scene.
Yeah, ghost rape scene. I mean, just, I don't even know how to even address that, but
that's not good times. But yeah, fortunately that cuts off before it gets real bad. And yeah, the movie kind of goes on for a little bit with, everybody's trying to get out, people getting hurt, and they're just stacking the bodies up in the one room like you do, no issues there. No one seems to be too concerned. We threw a sheet over them. It's fine.
Well, there's 200 rooms, so they're just like, just pick a room and throw in there. We have 199 rooms, because in the film there's 200 rooms, but in actuality there's 400 rooms. Wow. The scene where we have the earthquake and everyone is, acting and tumbling around the earthquake. There's a scene where there's 3 characters in the kitchen. The one guy, like, in the middle overactor guy. It's like, guy, it already happened. The scene is already about to cut away into the next room with people, and he decides, you know what? Let me go for another tumble flip. on
Yeah.
the opposite side.
I've never been in an earthquake, but I've seen video, and I've never seen an earthquake that was so intense it caused someone to do a flip in the air. It throws him in the air and he does a flip and then lands. I'm like, wait.
He's like, you know what? My gymnastics teacher is going to be so proud of me. I'm
this-
going to throw this fucking tumble in here and it's
Was
going to
it-
be great.
What kind of earthquake was this? I mean, it was pretty. It must have been a hell of a quake.
It was earth moving.
I'm just gonna leave that one alone.
This is one of those films that it's good times. I did not expect anything that I saw. There were some pretty fucking funny ass scenes in the film. I mean, it's just classic 70s. It did have for me a very made for TV film like feel to it, but that's because it is a low budget horror film.
Yeah, nothing too crazy graphic really happens in it. I mean, you never see any. There's no real nudity, and you see the one guy cut his hand with a saw, but it's not like there's a little bit of blood, but it's not too crazy.
Some of the acting is just bad, and then what puts the stamp, okay, of the made for TV movie feel is the terrible fucking soap opera music. Okay, that kills it. I feel like when you have a horror movie, you shouldn't have like, I just like douched for the first time and my vagina's feeling fresh music. That music should not be in any scene in a horror film.
Yeah, it was very much like they just went to the music library and found like some old records at the time. They were like, oh, here we go, just throw this on, it's fine.
Yeah, it's just, and there's no relationship we're going to have with any of the characters. I mean, the two main characters would be the psychiatrist and his wife or his girlfriend, whoever the fuck she is. And, the Civil War goes, because he's in throughout the whole film. He's doing all kinds of things in the house.
Hey, another guy in a white suit. But he doesn't really help him that much.
He doesn't, and it was so confusing to me because it was like, did he do some of this shit or was it all the devil? And
I think it was all
if
the
it
devil.
was all the devil, then what was the civil? Like you said, he didn't do shit. What did the Civil War guy just came and said you shouldn't have done that, and then disappeared?
He showed him his journal, which I love. They made a ginormous book for his journal, and then like one page has writing on it. Oh, okay. I guess he really needed that giant book for that.
He went to the Civil War shop and bought the journal. Then he wrote in it entry 1. Next day he got killed. It was just like...
but it was entry 1, but it was like 3/4 of the way through the book before they found it. So I don't know what the fuck he was doing.
He was like, I don't want to put it on the first page. I'm going to put it like somewhere like in the middle-ish. So you have to like find it because it's a secret apparently.
Apparently, yeah. And I just love that he, that's really all he does is he shows him his journal, and then like it says, oh, okay, we have to, put that thing back to seal the devil around. That cross is what we need. Let's find that cross. What do we do with that again? Did we just throw that down somewhere? Yeah, we did.
The dog buried it.
So they have to go find the thing, and it was crazy. And then, of course, that's when the devil's like, oh no, they found the journal, and makes the book burst into flames.
Yeah.
Which you'd think he would have known that was there immediately and burned it before they got to it.
I don't know. It's the plot wasn't really all there. I felt like there was just so many plot holes.
As they went.
They were just like, you know what? Let's just do this. We've already paid $1,000 for this white suit. We got to do something with it.
We've already bought the suit for the devil, and we paid the $100 a week to rent the house. So it said it was shot in like 30 days. So it probably cost them a whole $400 to rent this location.
Yeah, 30 days. You know what else was made in less than 30 days? Fucking Halloween, and that movie is fantastic.
Yeah, so it just goes to show you it matters who you've got behind the camera. Because this guy was not up to John Carpenter level.
He definitely was that. You know what? That would have been a totally different movie. I need to see that movie. Oh, I guess technically that would be that movie that I don't like that much. The one where they're stuck in the prison.
No, it'd be more like a Prince of Darkness, I think.
Oh, yeah. Touche. Definitely Prince of Darkness.
Which
Definitely.
is basically John Carpenter's Assault on Precinct 13, but with demons.
Yeah. If you like this film, I think that or if you have never seen this film and have no plans to see this film, but want some recommendations, I would recommend The Beyond. or
Beyond,
The Gate, because they're both films where it's a one location kind of thing. Like the main shit, people are stuck in a situation where they cannot leave, and some shit happens and it's blown out.
I think Rose Red would be better too. I know you don't like that one, but the Stephen King miniseries, that's all pretty much in the one house, and yeah, I like that one pretty well, and that's way better than this.
The Haunting, the 1999 version. Is it 99? 98?
Yeah, it's 99.
That movie is terrible. But do not watch that movie. But if you watch that movie, get drunk and then have like a drinking game and then like have a good time.
Yeah, because that's the only way you'll enjoy that or this one, really. I was sober for this, and I regretted it.
You're sober for every movie. Definitely The Gate if I had to choose. I love the Beyond is very the fuck out there, but it's just there's so many different things which we did cover this film. So go back into our catalog and listen to what we have to say about that film. But definitely, I really love The Gate. It's such a fun childhood film for me. I would say that would be one of the films that you can use as a gate, like a introduction to horror, because there isn't anything too graphic and it's fun. And even though the dead dog mom scene is so sad,
just basically any excuse not to talk about this movie.
Wow. Well, I give this 1.5 stars. Knives.
God damn, baby, it's been
I
like
know.
2 years now.
Don't even ask me what I was thinking. I was actually thinking about like ninja stars for some reason, but Knives. 1.5 knives.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 1 knife on it.
Damn, 1 knife. Shit, that's fucking.
And I'm the lenient one around here, remember?
That's true. I'm giving the 1.5 because it was it was fun. There's all kinds of crazy shit happening in the movie. The kills were cool, and you gotta have that whole TIE fighting sound scene. That just makes the fucking movie right there. You're like, oh, I'm gonna put another Fantastic. I'm gonna throw some Star Wars in because I'm feeling like watching that after this. Because I don't even know how the fuck that snuck in there. I need to know the history of how that fucking sound got in this damn movie.
Yeah, because that makes no sense. I can't imagine that Lucas didn't immediately sue him. Well, this is on Blu-ray and everything, so I wonder if they removed it from it when it's on Blu-ray.
Maybe. The chick is running down the hall, okay? You'll see this on the Instagram post. She's running down the hall waving like the dog. Why do we need to even have any crazy sounds? It should just be the clops of her fucking clogs or whatever the fuck she's wearing.
And the dog feet coming behind her.
And the dog feet. That's it, Let's not put any other crazy noise in there, because there's a whole bunch of sounds mixed in with that sound, but that one sticks out the most.
Yeah, because you've heard that one so much.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for joining us once again, and stay tuned to the horror.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.